What's up everyone, welcome to PHENOMSOUND.
In today's video we are going to take a look at the Melodic Riddim, aka Future Riddim. For those who haven't heard of this genre, it's a mix of future bass and rhythm, which I think is a fire combination. And right now I'm going to show you my Future Riddim project, and here it is. And here is the original sound. I've made it in Serum. It's a kinda rhythmish, choppy, flangered sound based on the flanger minus filter. Here are the settings. Another flanger fix. Another flanger minus on the second filter. And all I've added is the EQ. But not just the EQ, I've picked 3 frequencies that sound kinda harmonic to me. So let me start from scratch so you could clearly understand what I mean. I cut the low frequencies and now I take one bell type EQ controller and move the Q all the way up to have a really tiny frequency range, picking up, and here's how it sounds. As you can hear, as you move the controller, the tonality of the sound changes. I add another band, and now I will be finding a perfect frequency that matches the first one. Sounds good to me. And final one. So this is basically what we are looking for, and now we are going to take this sound, resample it on the C note of the 5th octave, export, and now I've imported this sample into the amazing FL Studio sampler called Direct Wave. And here's how it sounds. But for this particular tune I decided to play it on a half speed, so I set my tempo to 75 instead of 150 and clicked on sync. Now it's playing twice slower, and you can play it on all octaves. You can even play chords. And now let's get to the post-processing. I've added a RC20 with a bit of distortion to it and fruity flanger. You can copy settings if you want, and also I've added a bit of frequency shifting. It's really soft and tiny, and here is an EQ and a gross beat for the gate effect, and isotope zone 5 with some stereo imaging turned on the mids and on the high frequencies. So now it sounds like this. And here's how it sounds in the mix. I'm sorry guys, but I can't resist it. Nice, let's move on. I have another sound with a bit different technique, and this is the main sound of this tune. There is no resampling this time, it's a bare serum with a bit of post-processing. Let's take a listen to the original sound. It's really simple and basic. The first oscillator is just a saw wave with the octave set to -1, and the second one is the Debussy wavetable all the way down, octave to -2, and a flanger plus filter. So that's it. There is an automation on the first oscillator's level and a couple of fixes. And for the post-processing chain, I have another RC20 with distortion, frequency shifter. This time it's quite aggressive. For this wobbling effect, you should set drive at 50% and try to tweak the shift knob to find a perfect wobbling effect for your particular sound. You hear it changes the wobbling speed as you move this knob, so you should find the best position for your purpose. Here I have the EQ, vocodecs, Of course, it sounds a lot cleaner without it, but in the mix it makes a huge difference. Take a listen. It adds a bit of distortion to the sound and make it louder, and it makes it clear to hear. The next plugin is a gross beat with this kind of automation. Also, I've used a Melodic Production saturator, which comes with a huge library of free VST plugins from Melodic Production, and those guys are just amazing. I love their plugins so much. I'm using a very slight saturation on this one. And here is another gross beat, this time with a double speed gate. But in this case I've set a big release and attack, so it's not too aggressive, just to add this wobbling effect to the volume of the sound. And finally there is a stereo imaging with this kind of settings. Alright, I have another sound for you guys. I've used it for the atmosphere as a really wide stereo percussive sound. Here it is. So here is how I made this sound. I took a recording of the keys, just regular keys for the doors. It sounds like this. Here someone is shuffling these keys in his hand, and I decided that it would be a nice percussion. So I put a RC20 on it. I put another Melodic Production amazing plugin called Freeform Phase. I draw this type of curve, and that's basically it. And here's another frequency shifter. Okay, sounds good. Here's the EQ and a bit of saturation. Reverb. And the gross beat to create a groove. And I've resampled this sound, and here it is. I've played it on both 5th and 6th octaves. I've added another distortion. Huge flanger. Another frequency shifter to make it wobbly and liquid. Just a perfect technique for the future rhythm. And a little EQing. Another gross beat, quite massive saturation, with gain almost plus 10 decibel. And once again, let's bring back the rhythm using gross beat. And I decided to make this sound real wide on the mid frequencies. To put it on this kind of shelf. So this is what we've got. And remember this sound that we've resampled at the very beginning of this video. I took it once again and used it in a different way. I have something like this. Now it sounds a bit more like rhythm sound. And here's the clean one. And here's my post-processing on this one. There's a distortion, flanger, another frequency shifter. The set of plugins is pretty much the same as on the previous sounds. EQ, saturation, but this time I've used a multiband compressor. I've made low and mid frequencies on this one real mono and set the high frequencies a bit wider. And here is another magical VST plugin from Melodic Production called Autopen. So the sound goes from left to the right or otherwise. And here is how it sounds in the mix. And another percussion sound from this part is also using the same post-processing chain. Let me show you the original sound. Okay, that's all the tricks that I wanted to show you in this video. I hope you'll find these methods really useful because future rhythm style gets more popular these days. I'm sure everyone will find himself trying to work in this genre. And don't forget to share your tunes with me, I would really enjoy to hear some. As always, this particular project is available on my Patreon page, guys, don't forget to check it out, as well as all of the serum presets from it and some samples. So don't hesitate to visit my Patreon page, you won't be disappointed. You are welcome to subscribe to my channel if you like what I'm doing. Hit like and comment, I would really love to hear from you guys. I'm excited to hear your opinion on what I'm doing and to hear what would you like me to do in the future videos. Thank you very much for watching and see you in my next video. Bye!